Going on, blank space? How we doing today?
Solid,
Doing
solid.
Hey, Joe. Doing
doing
good?
good, doing good.
Back with episode what? Is this like 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there? We're cranking these.
I think it's
Yeah,
episode
something
8.
like that.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get it started, y'all. What caught our attention this week? We're gonna do a week recap.
Anybody go fishing? Anybody go fishing this week?
No, no.
No, I'll tell you something that caught my attention. Well, actually happened today. Lakers put belt to ass against Oklahoma City in OKC. Really
Ooh.
impressive performance. They won by they won by like 20. I want to say I don't know the final score, but they were up by at least or at max 30 at one point. So
Damn.
really impressed with that. They play them again on Tuesday, which is stupid, but yep, that's what caught my eye. And then I will say one more thing. Shador Sanders Pro Day caught my eye too. Well, I'm sure we'll be getting into that later, but what say you guys?
Tay, you go ahead.
Yeah, I would say one thing caught my eye was the McDonald's All American. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check that out. But some upcoming ballers for sure. We had Darren Peterson. He led the West in the All American McDonald's game. He really looks like a to me Anthony Wiggins and Kobe mixed. So he has
Oh,
that finesse like a Wiggins, but he has like that get to the rim, punch it, like Kobe. So Darren Peterson, watch him. He is going to Kansas, I believe, next year. So he is a two guard. So he's gonna be very cool. And then of course we had the number one pick going.
right.
AJ, yeah, he's gonna be going next year. He looked great as well too. He's balling out. On the east side, we had a Cuff. He was far by the best talent there. He's going to Arkansas, so it's gonna be with Coach Calipari, so that's gonna look pretty nice. And then of course some sons of former NBA players. So we had the twins,
The Boozers.
the Boozer twins, yeah, out there with they look it pretty nice. One of I believe it's the second youngest twin. He's probably the nicest. So he looks like he's the solid. I think it's Caden and um
Cameron.
Caden and Cameron. Yeah, and I think Cameron's the better one of the two, if I'm not mistaken. And then you also have Gilbert Arenas' son, which was Asia Arenas. So he looked pretty nice too. Had a really good year. I would say look out for those all the players I just named, but definitely look out for Darren Peterson. He's going to be nice going to Kansas. But yeah, that's the one that caught my eye.
Yeah, I only knew AJ Dibansta there, Tay. So thank you. Well, okay, so that's a nice little segue right there. Because what caught my eye, y'all, did you see Duke blow that shit? Oh,
I called it.
God.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Joe and I both liked Houston too. I
I
know
don't know
you're a
if we're
Houston
going
fan,
to
Joe.
fully be talking about that. I'm going to go right into it right now. It looked like it was just Cooper and a bunch of nuttons, bunch of nobodies. Aren't you playing at Duke? Like, and not like, oh, he had to carry the team. Like, where are we at in the final, like, 10 minutes of the game? There was one field goal made, I heard. Like, one actual field goal made in, like, the final 10 minutes of the game. Other than that was some free throws. You can't just try and protect a lead. You know what I mean? You got to keep the foot on the pedal. Where were the other guys at? That was my question. And, like, it frustrated me. I'm not, like, I picked them in my bracket. I wasn't fin to win that, though, So I just was like, how did they not win this? Like, how did Houston do that? It was crazy.
Houston's just
Hell of a game.
their intensity, like when Duke when they were going on that run. I don't know. It just seems like the pressure kind of got to the Duke players, And I feel like this happens all the time with Duke. You know, this happens more to them than off. I don't know. It seems like every tournament when they don't get to the championship, they end in like a heartbreak, you know, or they get bounced in the Sweet 16 or something like that. But I kind of have a question for you guys before we get going in on that. You know, do you think NIL kind of ruined the March Madness tournament? Like, do you think with NIL, do you think it kind of it dead the Cinderella teams? Because you see we talked about this. I'm pretty sure Trey was mentioning. Yeah, you know, I don't think there's been all number one seeds made it to the Final Four. Well, you know what?
We gotta
Yeah.
clip that.
But I'm pretty sure it happened back to back years now, you know. So I think the
Yeah.
NIL really affects like these, like what was that team? I don't even know. I didn't really that where that dude with the speaker box. What starts with the M? McNeese, right? McNeese.
Yeah.
That was like what the only team that made a little bit of noise, and it's because they won their first game, not even like anything crazy. So I just think that kind of sucks. You know, we don't really get the excitement of like a Wichita State or something like that doing something crazy anymore, because it's just these, you see when they lose the second they lose a game in the tournament, they're already entering the transfer portal. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Speaking on that, just real quick, because this is Tay's subject, he'll go in for minutes. Let me just touch base real quick. All right, so I was looking at this tournament in awe, in shock. Yeah, of course, the better team should win, right? But that's not usually, like I said, in my growing up, that's not how the tournament would go. You'd have, you know, maybe not Cinderellas all the time, but you'd have your Wisconsin at like a third, fourth, fifth seed, and they'd be in the Final Four almost every other year. Just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just straight chalk. Now, that's what I think's happening. Like you alluded to, like the transfers straight. Like Walter Clayton came from Iona. They were a team that would make noise a few years ago. You know, like so. And that boy's playing his ass off. Oh my goodness. Again, we'll get into that. But no, it was just it was crazy to me how after the first round of the tournament, if you guys paid attention, the higher seed not only won and continued to move on, the higher seed dominated. Like it was 12 point, 20 point, 15 point wins. Even in the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, like you'd have the 1 versus the 2, and Alabama and Tennessee, they weren't ready. They weren't ready for it. It was just so that was confusing to me. I thought like once you got there wouldn't be so much disparity. I think that was the right word. But yeah, you know, so like it was confusing, shocking, but like obviously it makes sense that the better teams win. But like, just I didn't like it.
Yeah, I kind of jump in there. To answer your question, Joe. Yeah, I think it does have a huge impact, the NIL. The mid majors are just not making it as far as they used to, and definitely, yeah, the Cinderella teams are. There's only about 3 of them that make some noise, and those are dime a dozen. And then after the season, right, what do they do? Just like you said, hit that transfer portal. So I think not only with the NIL, but also opening up that transfer portal is huge too. Like for a player to be like, I had a good season, I could just dip, I think that really plays a role to it a lot. But yeah, I mean, these big schools, you're just going to follow the money, right? If you're a big name, big recruit out of high school, you're going to go where the money is. You're going to go where the big, name school is. Unless you are very loyal to your city or loyal to where you're at, you're going to see a lot of these kids, go get the money. And hey, you can't be mad at them. They've been eating cheeseburgers, so they have opportunity for their family at a younger age than a lot of people had before. Like, that it plays a role. So I would really kind of like to see them do like a cap of some sort with NIL or a certain amount of type of deals that you can have to kind of keep it more well-rounded. But that is a discussion around NCAA right now, is what it's causing for the mid-major and lower tier schools. 100%.
Yeah, like the back in the day, George Mason making it to the and while we're on the topic of March Madness, shout out to UConn.
Yeah, Paige.
Yeah, Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. She's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
She's I think she's gonna be a monster. I think Caitlin Clark needs to watch the fuck out because like we always talk about with these football players. You know, she suffered the ACL injury, and then was healthy last year if I remember correctly. But it typically takes about 2 years for players and athletes to come back and really get back to being themselves. You know, look at Chris
Yeah.
Godwin before he tore his or popped his fucking ankle open. This year he was on. This was his second year back pre knee surgery or post knee surgery. So it's just good to see her kind of establish her name in the history books of UConn women's basketball. They have all those legends, you know, and I think well deserving. Like she's been a bucket. She was. I'm pretty sure they had her in like mixtapes and shit. You know, like she was like I don't know. I feel like Paige was Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. You know, but that's just me being a hater, probably.
No,
Don't
definitely.
fucking
Yeah.
kill me.
Yeah, shout out to Paige, and not only shout out to Paige, but shout out to the coach Gino, man. Like
Gino, yep,
that
yep.
man, like that guy, like always getting to the championship. Like, he's finding, great players, and not only that, but he develops the players and the superstars. So yeah, shout out to Gino as well. And the guy's what, 71 years old. So to be out there with that much energy, coaching,
Yeah.
finding these great players like Paige. That's great. I think he's over 40 seasons at UConn, if I'm not mistaken. So, sheesh, man, that's older than us. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to that guy as well.
Mhm. All right, say what you got for us with this.
Yeah. Let's go. So, March Madness, baby. So before we go into kind of the final four, like let's go and back up a little bit behind that. So we had Texas Tech and we had Florida. Texas Tech deserved, like they should have won that game. And that's what really shows the worry with Florida with me. I have them winning the bracket, but if Clayton Jr. isn't going down and he's scoring these threes and he is, just balling out, and their defense is bad at the same time, like Florida is, they're close to losing those games. Texas Tech showed their strong, defensive play and really, really clamped up Florida. So I would say Houston should definitely go look back at that tape and see what they did because yeah, Florida was struggling, to make their way to the Final Four. Then we had Alabama and Duke. This one, of course, knew Duke was gonna ball out, Coop was gonna ball out, but man, they just stumped the floor with 85 points to 65 versus Alabama. So Alabama has Dylan Sears. He's one of the top players in the NCAA. Definitely going to be top 10 draft pick in the NBA. It was just very surprised to see Coop, kind of just take that superstardom and say no, I'm the man of the show. So that was very, very fun to watch. And they had Proctor as well too. So that game, let me just pull that game up because this is going to kind of go into why they lost in the Final Four. But if we go back to that game, let me just pull it up here just real quick. Yeah, they had Proctor. Yeah, Proctor was the one. He went over above 10. Nice. So they had 4 out of their 5 players that scored above points there. So yeah, man. I think that's huge. And Proctor was silent, and we'll kind of get to that in the Final Four. Next, who did we have? We had the night before that, I want to say, or it was after that. Yeah, we had Tennessee at Houston. So that one was surprising too. Tennessee's defense has been great this year, and they're not a 3-point shooting team. So I think that really got exposed. And Houston came through, and swept the floor with them, 69 points. They had of course LJ Cryer was doing his thing, and then they had their guards as well too playing out. But I think they also showed their defense that game, which really helped. Yeah, and Michigan State and Auburn, which was the other game. Auburn won at 70, and it was 64 points Michigan put on the board. That game was a lot closer though than it looked. But they had Auburn's uh, superstar over there, Jerome Broom. And he came through at the end and was just balling out, got to the line a few times at the end of the game, and hit a few clutch shots. So yeah, Auburn really showed their defensive play there as well too, versus an electric, high paced Michigan State team. Their guards are nice, and I believe two of them are going to be going to the draft next year. So watch out for them as well too. That leads us to the Final Four. So yes, we had Florida versus Auburn, so 79-73. Clayton Jr. 34 points, man, it's crazy. 11 for 18 field goals, and then 7-7 from the free throw line. So beyond the stripe, he was just doing his thing. And then on the other end, this is a huge part of them losing. Broom had 15 points, but I believe those all came second half, so they were really playing catch up. And then other than him, you had Baker Maraza at 18, and then you had Denver Jones at 10. So it was really just those three guys scoring. And the Gators just looked a lot more scrappier at the end. So there's a few plays where they're diving on the ground, stealing it, running it back for a fast break, pulling up, hitting the three. So they just looked a little bit more, kind of poised, and looked like they wanted it a lot more than Auburn at the end. So for the Gators, make it to the championship. That's big. And then, yeah, let's get back to the Houston and Duke. That one was crazy.
That dunk was
um,
nasty.
yeah. That dunk was
Jordan.
crazy. Hmm. Yeah, he postered him for
Yeah.
that was nasty.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Thanks for bringing that out because that clip was crazy. He's just like hanging on one arm, like,
Yeah.
yeah, sick. And then yeah, LJ Cryer again for Houston, man, 28 points, or 26, sorry. 8 for 14 in the field goal range, and then 4 for 6 from the free throw. So LJ Cryer is just like, I don't know, he reminds me like of those guys you go and play open gym, and it's the OG that's bald headed, and like he got the bald spot in the back, but like he's just eating your ankles up, and he's just like scoring like every three, like, and he's slapping the wood on the way down, like playing D, getting in your head. Like that's LJ Cryer. So I think he's like a 5th-year senior. Like he got championship at Baylor, so he's definitely been there before. And I feel like he really keeps the poise with Houston. And that's what they've needed for the past few years. Always getting to about, the Elite Eight, but they could never really get above the hump. So yeah, LJ Cryer, shout out to that guy. And then yeah, Coop did his thing. 27 points, like he did what he needed to do. But when I'm going here in the box score, I'm seeing Coop at 27, and then Knuppel at 16, and that's all they had over 10. Tyrese Proctor, he's the one that's been scoring for them as well. He's a guard as well, and he at least scores about 10 to 15 points a game, and he was pretty quiet versus Houston. So they really ate him up, while kind of, hey, Coop, go ahead, do your thing. Don't get past 30 though. And then, yeah, Joe brought it up earlier. Like Houston was just a lot more fast paced, scrappier. And there's just something about them. Like they play very well in adversity. So whenever they have adversity, like they almost play better when they're down. When they're trying to chase those last 2-3 points, it really brings the dog out of them. So that scares me. I have Florida winning, but that scares me because that's what really wins championships. Who's hungry enough? Who wants it more? And that's what you really see in college ball. So I have Florida, but man, if I were to go back, I think I think I'd probably choose Houston, and that's probably big. But yeah, so that's a little bit about where we're at with college March Madness, baby. Let's go.
Let me ask you a quick question, Tate. Didn't you have Houston and Florida in your championship? Is your
Yeah, I
bracket
had
still like 98%, bro?
it's 97% right
That's
now.
gross.
Yeah, I had all the Final Four correct, and then yeah, I had the championship correct, and then I think in the Elite Eight I only had one or two that didn't make it, and that was because I was pretty excited about like University of New Mexico. I thought they were gonna just like be that Cinderella, so I kind of jumped the gun there, but yeah, 97% I think on the bracket I want to say. So let's go.
I was gonna say, get my man on ESPN here, bracketology and everything, but that's what we're trying to do, So
Hey, men lie, numbers lie, but Tayro don't in NCAA.
he said it ends today. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, so that I think that segues a little bit into what was next here. I think it was the WNCAA. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that. I was going to speak on that. I keep hearing a lot about that sport in particular not receiving the correct publicity that it should. These ladies want more money, but they're not, they're not bringing it in, right? So that is an issue. Now, I'm a big sports guy. I've never paid more attention to WNBA in my life, or NCWNBA, whatever. I don't know how you ever say that, but Paige Buckers, Juju Watkins, you got obviously Caitlin Clark, Aja coming out a couple years ago. Like, there was always one every 3-4 years that was like, oh, she's
Asia.
going to change the sport. Asia, excuse me. Candace Parker, Breonna Stewart, Sue Bird, all the way back. Like, there's always a few. Always a few. There's always been good players in that league, but I'm paying attention, so I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not spending money. I'm not going to the games. Sure, we have a team here, but I don't know. It's just confusing to me. It's kind of at its peak, and it's not making any money. It's not. So that is harsh for the sport. What do you guys think?
I think they. Yeah, go ahead, Ted.
No, I was gonna say Joe. Go ahead. I'll go after.
I just think it's just, I don't know. Like, maybe when Juju gets in the league, you make more. It's just more. It's easier for colleges to hand out money than the league that barely generates revenue. Like, it's tough. Like, they're just now getting around to making a little bit more money because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, but like, make no mistake about it, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, there's legends that came before this generation that's coming in now, and it's because you got ESPN kind of shoving it down everybody's fucking throats. Like, if we're being completely honest, and lack of alley-oops, dunks, blocks, just stuff like that. You don't get the average like male. If I'm being honest, you don't get the casual male fan to tune into a Wednesday night LA Sparks versus Seattle Storm game. Like, it just doesn't happen, and maybe like you'll get Caitlin Clark. Like, I'll tune into Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. That's fun, but I'll have that playing on the iPad while I play some video games or something. Like, I can't have my full attention to it. So I just think there's a bigger hurdle than, like, I don't know. But they do have some baddies over there in the WNBA now. So it's not. What about you, Tay?
Oh yeah. So I used to like say this when I was younger. People used to look at me like I'm crazy, but it's because like I used to like I hooped. You know what I mean? Like, I hooped for real. So I always used to tell people I like watching women's basketball more than men basketball. People always go like, well, why? And it's because when you're looking at women's basketball, like, they play basketball how it's supposed to be played. Like, it's a team sport. It's fundamental. The running plays. it's it's more appeasing to the eye of an actual hooper, you know what I mean, than just somebody relying on their physicality going in and dunking. Like that's fun too, but that's more marketable to, you know, the average consumer, right? You know, so when someone is watching them from a hooper eye, oh, you're setting that high pick, you're doing this, you know, like you're really breaking down the offense and the defensive zones, and you know, you could really see that at a slower pace. You know, within women's ball, especially college ball. So I always had appreciation for it. Now, to kind of go back to your question, Dre, I think it goes to the league's fault, right? I think we are so blessed with, um, you know, how marketable the NBA was. We were just born into it. The NBA has always been a marketable league, right? Like you go walk in Times Square, you look up, there's an NBA player. You are walking in the airport, there's an NBA player. You turn on the TV, there's a game playing, right? You look down the street, there's a kid wearing a LeBron James jersey, right? Like, and I think this comes down to how great the NBA is just at marketing their product. The NBA is a product, it's a business. And at the end of the day, the you know, women's basketball has to get to that too from a league standpoint. And I think right now they are at a very good standpoint to execute and do so. Why? Because you're having these big names now. You're having these household names. Everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is. Everybody knows who Juju Watkins is. Everyone knows who Paige Buckers is for the most part, right? So now it's up to the league. How can we make this a marketable household name? How can we make it to when you're walking in the escalators up in the airport, you see a Paige Buckers poster just shouting out at you? How can you see it where kids are wearing Juju Watkins jersey, right? Like, so I think it comes back to the league now, where, hey, you have all these marketable all stars. People know who they are. They can be a household name, but how do we market it now, and how do we execute on that? So I think it's that, and that brings revenue, that brings in money, right? So that's why a lot of these businesses have high marketing budgets for a reason, right? So I think that they need to execute on the marketing standpoint, make it exciting to watch, and then the money will come. So and NCAA is great at that. NCAA has just always been great at that. So that's my little 2 cents.
I mean, I don't know that there's enough, you know, a good I would say a part of it for me, there only like 12 teams, something like that. Like I don't know if you could expand and make it a little, you know what I mean? Like there might only be 12 teams. That makes it hard.
Yeah.
Right there.
I think it's like 12 or 16. Yeah,
I
everybody
don't know
makes
that
the playoffs. Yeah,
it's kind of a weird setup. So yeah, I mean like that right there. But I
Yeah,
mean, do
they
they have
gotta
enough
expand.
talent to expand it? You know what I mean? That's the next question. But the more and more we're seeing, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 different like playmaking athletes come out from the women's side each and every year now, it seems like. So if you can continue with that trend, I feel like you have to expand. If you can't, if it's like you got your first overall pick and that's pretty much it, everybody else was on, you know, the number 1 or number 2 seed, but are they even going to be good in the WNBA? You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of how it always feels like most of their drafts and whatnot. You know, so
yeah, that's a good point. The expansion is huge. Yeah, they need more teams, 100%. Also, one thing too is like we're seeing women dunk now. Like that was never a thing when we were younger. You know what I mean? So I feel like the physicality is getting there as well too. But yeah, it comes back to the league, right? Expansion, marketing. They just need to make it more appeasing.
yep, yep.
yes, sir.
Agreed.
What's
All right,
next? What's next?
what we
Oh,
got,
Dre.
Dre? Banana, banana.
I'm just gonna put myself on mute because I have no business talking about this.
There you go. Take it away, Dre.
ISO cam, baby. ISO. All right, guys. So for some MLB baseball, we got some updates for you here. Has anybody heard about the torpedo bats?
I did. I was gonna ask you about that.
The torpedo
Please
bat.
talk about it. Please talk about it.
So I guess from my sources, like from what I've learned and read up on, they've been around, I guess. It's just never really been talked about, never been a big thing. And the Yankees came out. Maybe they altered theirs a little bit more than most have been priorly in years. I've never seen it in my life. I used to play baseball growing up my whole entire life. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, so that was the topic of discussion over week 1. So the Yankees came out, they blasted like 9 home runs and scored 20 runs in the first like first or second game, I think it was. Then not but a few days later, a week later, the Cincinnati Reds star Ellie De La Cruz gets his hands on one, and he blasts 2 homers in the same game and like 5 RBIs or something nuts. So it's one of those things where you're like, how big of an impact is it really playing? You know, or that the Yankees are good. They hit homers. Ellie's a superstar, a phenom. Like, he's gonna hit 2 homers in a game. It just so happened to be with that bat, though. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, could this really change the game? And I guess they're checking the rule book, checking it twice like Santa, and it is completely fine. It's not a violation. People are just were just pissed because the Yankees did it. These guys right here. Yeah, so like,
Not Aaron Judge though. Aaron Judge was not using those. It was like Chisholm or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Volpe and Chisholm, yeah. The smaller guys, but
The dudes that need them.
yeah, like almost like
about
a
the bat,
steroid or
check
something.
the juice.
But anyways, yeah, and then so like I said, not only did Cincinnati do it, teams all around the league, I guess, ordered these bats. So almost everybody around the league this year will have them. It's just up to them if they use them. And you got to just kind of weigh out the positive and the negatives, right? Like, the positives, if you use it during practice, during the game, and you're seeing some positive results in performance and or like statistics, and it's legal, just do it. Just do it. But the negative, the downside is it's kind of frowned upon at the moment, and until it's not, And then beyond that, like, if you've played baseball your whole life, you're used to picking up this, this pretty heavy material, and it weighs and looks and is shaped a certain way the whole entire time you've done this, and then now it's altered. It'd be like playing with a softball and having to try and throw that thing 90 miles an hour like they do a baseball. It's different. It's different, So we'll see how they do with it. But that was the big topic of conversation. We had a couple rookies that were looking great in spring training that have made their teams and are not doing so hot out the gate. We're only 2 weeks in, week and a half in. You can't get too upset. But Cam Smith for the Astros, I know Joey touched base on him a week or two back. And then Dylan Cruz for the Nationals, just not getting it done right now. But they can turn it around. It's a very young and early season. Same thing with the Mariners. Mariners are starting out real ugly. They're already consuming some injuries, so that's going to hurt. But it's early. We'll see how they can flip it around. What else? Aaron Judge is absolutely mashing. What else? I had a thing here. Heard about it, looked into it. It is absolutely true. It's gross to think about. I think he's a good player. I've always liked, he mashes. The homer is what you want to see in baseball. So, people like Judge, but I'm not like this like crazy fan of him. I like Juan Soto and Julio Rodriguez. Those are my guys. You guys, I don't know. I think he's like 32, something of that nature. If he plays another 10 years in the league and hits about 42 to 47 homers a year, he is going to wind up as the number 1 overall home run leader over Barry Bonds. Wow. Steroids or no? The guy's he's a giant, so you don't even have to worry about the steroids, even if he does them. But that's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, some of those records, Ovechkin just passed Gretzky it's those records you don't think are ever going to get broken. And it's happening. It's happening. So we'll see if he plays another 10 years, see if he can do it. But I'm going to put my money on the fact that he probably will. He probably will.
Nice.
I think that's really all I had for you guys, but we'll see.
I got a few questions for you, Dre, on a couple of teams, if you don't mind me asking.
Go ahead.
I saw Paul Skeens pitched, did his job. They took him out, and then the whole team proceeded to say, "Fuck you," and blow his lead. They end up losing the game, and then he gets the L. Do you think MLB should do away with that rule? Like, are you sick of seeing this dude go out there, pitch his heart out, shut teams down, and then get pulled, and then have the reliever who's supposed to come in and relieve you of your duties come in and just shit the bed?
No,
Like,
because here's what happens, Joe. So
Mhm.
I'll kind of break it down a little bit for you. Especially with the Mariners too. They have this ultra.
I don't
pitching
care about
staff.
them.
I know. I'm just saying they do it every other day, basically, where their really good pitcher gives up almost nothing, and then they'll get the L. But with what you're saying, so what happens is Skeens maybe was balling out, like you would say, for 5-6 innings. It was a 0-0 game, maybe a 0-1 game, and he gets into the 7th inning. He gets an out, but then he gets a walk, and then somebody gets a hit, and there's a guy on first and third, right? And they take him out, right? But he didn't give up a single run technically yet. Well, that relief pitcher that's Booty comes in, gives up a couple runs, and all of a sudden Pittsburgh's losing 3-1, or however it went. I don't know the exact game you're alluding to, but let's say that's how it happens. Those two people that were on base, those are Skeens guys. He was starting to wear out towards the back end of the game, and he got people on base, and they took him out. They should, if they believed in him at that moment, they should have kept him in, but he was obviously wearing out. He got, he left people on base, and then the reliever, you hope the reliever comes in and just shuts him down, doesn't give up the run or two, and boom, you're good. But if you're a bad team like Pittsburgh, you don't have the relief pitching like that. You rely on Skeens to go 7, 8, maybe even 9 innings so that you don't have to worry about that. So no, I mean, it's all fair in the game. That's just how it works. It's how it goes.
Yeah, he needs to get out. And then what's going on in Atlanta? They just picked up their first win of the season recently. 1-8. If I'm not mistaken, were they not projected to be in at least, if not like a World Series contender, at least a playoff team, right?
Oh, year in, year out, playoff contender, World Series contender. They have one of the best rosters in baseball. It's actually gross. Whatever the Dodgers are doing, good. You would expect the Braves to be doing the same. So the fact that they just got their first win, that's absolutely gross. They are missing Acuna right now. So that plays a pretty big factor, but they have a good lineup around that. It's not like he's the only guy over there, So that's huge. I don't know what's going on over there. Again, it's early. They'll right the ship. They're too good of a team not to, but it's scary. It's scary. Baseball's a weird sport.
All right, and then I got a couple other one rapid fire. Are you ready for him?
Go.
All right. Are the Giants for real? 8-1,
yes.
Way too early. Okay. That's a really tough division right there. Even the Diamondbacks are not bad as well, right?
Diamondbacks aren't bad, but I feel like the Diamondbacks will take a little fall off for the Giants. The Giants have this like weirdly set up team where I just feel like everything's gonna click for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who do you think's gonna win the National League East?
National League East.
Phillies, Mets, Marlins, Nationals, Braves.
Phillies.
Who do you think will win? Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then one more. Yankees, Red Sox. What do we got going on in there? I gotta ask. It's a freaking only really thing I pay attention to in baseball is whenever they kind of play. So is the rivalry back? I heard the Red Sox are kind of back.
Well, the Red Sox are absolutely back. I'm about 2 or 3 pods ago, I might have predicted them to be in the World Series.
Hell yeah!
So I yeah, you can say the rivalry's back. Both teams are really good. So that'll create some friction right there, and we'll see if the bench is clear in one of their series this year or something like that, and then we'll really
Hell
know.
yeah.
But yeah,
And then I guess give us a quick update on the Mariners.
like I said, they're getting some injuries, so that's not good. I think they're 3-7, maybe even 3-8 after today. Not good. But it's early. I mean, 10 games in, you can't freak out. There's 162. So that'd be like being 5-6 games into the NBA season and be like, we're 2-4, we're awful. They can't do it. So
Nice. You got anything for him, Tay?
162 games. That's
160.
crazy. Sheesh. And you got NFL players complaining about what? 18, 17 games. It's like
They play
I know it's different.
They play
No, I just want to ask one thing. Can we kind of go back to the architecture of the torpedo bat? Because I heard so much about it. And I think they said basically there's just more wood in the middle of it. Is that right?
Excuse my hands because this looks a little bad, chat.
Diddler.
Hey. But a bat, so you have your little base at the bottom, and then it's like small, and it builds up to the, and then the main frame.
I'm sorry.
The main frame of the bat just go. Yeah, see, I told you. I wish I just had one. I'd just show you. I don't have a bat in here right now.
I see you like a torpedo though, like a real torpedo.
No. I'm saying like that's a normal bat, right? So the torpedo. What's happening? So normally you'd hit the ball though at the towards the bottom back end of the bat, the like that part of the bat. Well, people that are hitting it more square, like in the middle / towards the bottom, they took the top part of the bat and like torpedoed it inwards, just like the bottom of the bat is now, and they made a certain part of their bat fatter than normal. And it's weird. It's like, how are you're almost playing with a cricket paddle or something at that point. Like, what are we doing?
Bro, it reminds me of those I did Nerf bats? No. Like wiffle ball or some shit, you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's in the sweet spot essentially, and you just kind of can just it's like throwing the Nerf football or whatever, or like the one that whistles. Yeah. It's like yeah. It's essentially that.
You're right on part. The yellow wiffle bat growing up. You guys ever seen one of the yellow? Yes. That's almost like a torpedo bat. The big old boom one. That's not what we're talking about, But the yellow one is almost like a torpedo. See if I can
pull this up.
Yeah, pull that bad boy up, because I hear a lot of people talk about it, and it's like a gray area right now.
It's very interesting.
All right. Let me see.
Just where's my water?
Yeah. So we got right here.
Go the $4.99 one. Oh my goodness, that one from Tucci Elks was fat.
Hold on. There we go. So this is what it looks like. This is wild. I don't know why I picked this. Obviously, this is the cool one. So
they're super wide, like you said, yeah.
And it looks like, is it flat right there? Is it kind of like a cricket bat?
So if I'm not mistaken, that's a normal bat. That's not even the torpedo.
It says, USA Youth Bat. Hold on.
The number 2 pencil is crazy work for a bat.
Okay, I'm pulling up a. Let me do this real quick. We're gonna share. Sorry guys, there we go. This is.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It looks like a goddamn shillelagh.
No, yeah, but now you have to pull up that yellow wiffle ball bat that I'm alluding to, because it actually does look just like it.
Which one are we
Can we
thinking
peep
of?
the Jordan
one.
gloves too?
That one right there.
This one?
Yes, yes.
God, you got me open up 8 fucking tabs. Sorry, guys. This is all live. No,
But
no
anyways-
editing involved.
For some reason, those bats would always turn into hitting somebody with. I don't know if that, that
Yeah.
was always a childhood. Like someone would get hit with one of those bats all the time.
For real.
But yeah, I mean, it's different, right? Like it's
For sure. Interesting.
it'd be like it, just to put it in it's like it's almost like the Tom Brady deflate gate stuff. Like, is
Yeah, I
it
was just
even
gonna say that.
illegal? What if the refs didn't even notice that the balls were just not fully pumped and it wasn't even like a purposeful thing? It's like going into a basketball game and just, yeah, you know what? We like the ball that the Globetrotters use, so at home we're gonna use that one. Like,
Crazy.
how do you guys feel about it? We've practiced with it. We can make all the threes in the world with it. How do you guys feel about using it? It's just like that. How does that? It doesn't make it seem like that's right or okay,
No, especially like you're putting all the records into play too. Like, I don't know. Like, you got to keep a standard. You got to keep a standard.
Agreed. You
That's
got a
right.
hard out today, Tay?
I probably got a few more minutes. What we got?
We can do a quick update of the NBA playoffs if we would like.
Yeah, let's do that then. Then wrap.
So yeah, just real quick, let's just touch up on the Western Conference, since that's the only one that that really matters here. We had some action today. We had OKC versus Lakers. Lakers won 126-99. That moves them. That keeps them at the 3rd seed. Why police
Did they
standings
say
up.
Did they say Eastern conference was locked in? I think I seen something pop up like that. But are they still
Eastern's
fighting,
pretty
or
much
is
locked in.
locked in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit locked themselves in, so that's solid. Good for them.
Yeah. So
Cade.
take a look over here at the West right here. So this is now updated. This is why everything kind of after the Lakers game today went their way. We had the Rockets play against the Warriors. The Rockets ended up winning that one. So it looks like the Rockets are going to finish with the 2 seed. The Lakers play them one more time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they win or lose. But the Nuggets lost tonight against Indiana. That kind of creates a nice little 2 gap. So if the Lakers can just win tomorrow or on Tuesday versus OKC, the remaining games against Dallas, Houston, and then the Trailblazers, you can drop one of those, but they own the tiebreaker against all these teams. And then look at how close it is. 4
That's
to
nuts.
8, man. Like, that's insane. And the only reason why Denver's the 4 seed is because they've played one more game. Like, this time of year, you always just want to look at the losses. That's why for the longest time you saw the Lakers had the same amount of losses as Denver, but not they own the tiebreaker, but they didn't have many games played, so that's why they were always like a game or like the 4th seed or whatever. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys remember the West ever being this tight? Pause. AO.
Not in a while. And sorry, just had to jump in there because I just was watching some games the past few days that was like had me conflicted. Like, so you guys know we always preach it. Joe and I are Lakers fans. We love it. They played the Warriors and they scared me.
Man, the Warriors are scary.
Oh my gosh! So,
but to be fair though, they were not hitting their fucking shots, man. That was very pitiful. I'm not gonna lie.
But what brings me conflicted is like then I watched the Thunder game today and they're like blowing them out. So I'm like,
Luka.
it's Luka, and I just think it comes down to like how they're playing and how healthy they can stay and if they're hitting their shots, like you said, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Rockets surprised me. Like, again, I'm very curious to see how they do. But again, like, the youth, do they have that experience in the playoffs, really? So I want to see what they do. Go back down, skip Denver, skip the Clippers, but
That's
Jaw's
we'll
starting to
go to
wake up.
Phoenix.
Ja is starting to wake up a little bit, which is nice. So
Yeah,
he's
but
starting to get out there and
they're
ball.
not their last. Sorry to cut you off. They fired their head coach. We didn't touch on
I
that.
know. I was
They
gonna get
fired their
into
head
that.
coach, man. They're 3-7 last 10. Jaw's
Yeah,
starting to heat up. If you're talking about finger shooting people, yeah, for sure he's starting to heat up. But
that's you stole all my puns, Joe.
my
You
bad.
stole
I'm
my
sorry,
puns,
brother. I
dude.
didn't know. He's just fucking. I'm sorry.
14
No,
games above
you're
500 though,
okay.
and your
Who?
coach gets fired. That's pretty.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah.
what surprised me. Like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, to make that huge of a change, like throughout the season, like that really scares me. And then, yeah, like you said, Joe, like Jaws putting like shooting, come on, man, like you gotta think smarter than that. So,
You don't think the NBA is
um,
kind of soft for that though? Because I do
I
see a
do,
lot of people do a bunch of
I
shit.
do,
You know.
I do. But if you're playing in it, you kind of got to think a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I might get in
Yeah.
trouble for this.
Yeah.
Because if
True.
he goes out, gets suspended those last few games, which is what I was gonna bring up, is yeah, they'll stay at the 8, but like that's gonna go nasty going into the playoffs. Like I don't know. So the Grizzlies kind of scare me, especially like within that play-in. But yeah, again, the hot take was just the Lakers like losing to the Warriors. The Warriors look scary, and then but they beat on the plus side. They went and beat OKC, which was dope. So that's my take.
So here's what I'm going to say looking at that.
Sorry for stealing your sauce. Okay.
The Thunder are having an absolutely insane season. Probably have the MVP of the league. We'll touch on that. But with all of these good teams, no one's safe. No one is safe in this Western Conference playoffs. It is completely up in the air. Completely up for grabs. Being 14, 15 games above 500 like that, that's a good franchise. That's a good team. That's a good year. So and they all have talent. The Nuggets, the Clippers, the Wolves, the Grizzlies, the Lakers, Rockets, all of them. So I mean, it's completely like the Thunder. You give somebody 7 games against the Thunder, like yeah, they have the best record, 64-14. That's nuts. They obviously are pretty good, pretty dominant. 7 games against any of these teams, and they probably are getting got. Honestly, they don't have the. They've been getting to the playoffs the last few years, but I don't think they have that full playoff moxie yet.
Question for you guys: out of these top 8 teams,
We'll do that.
who do you think is gonna be the MVP of the within these 8 teams? Who's gonna play the best in the playoffs, and then who's gonna be the biggest disappointment player wise?
Well, Dre, you go first.
Considering the Lakers are gonna probably win, either Luka Doncic or LeBron for MVP.
Okay.
Most disappointing. SGA.
Oh, that's huge.
I kind of want you guys to keep an eye on this too. Last 2 games, SGA hasn't gotten to the free throw line, and they're on a 2-game losing streak. I wonder if they are kind of starting to blow the whistle. At least when I watch the Laker games. LeBron doesn't get the fucking call to save his life, but they are starting to do a lot more playoff whistles, letting them play a little bit, and it's just something to keep an eye on. They do remind me a lot of like the Warriors that went 72-9. But I just don't know if they'll have the juice come playoff time. And to answer your question, Tay, or who it was you, right, Tay, that asked MVP? Yeah, I think I'm with Dre, obviously. That's why he had to go first, because I was gonna say Luka. I think if Luka can kind of, he gets up for big games. The Warriors game was just like, I don't know. They honestly, they've been playing so many games. They've only had 2 practices since Luka's been acquired. So I think I think after this OKC game, they fly back and have 2 days off. So they're going to be able to get some practice in then. And I think it's going to be huge, just when it comes playoff time, like I believe I was talking to Dre about this like earlier. We were playing Madden. Shameless plug. Hit us up if you guys want to play Madden. We play Xbox 2v2.
You get worked. You get worked.
Yeah,
you don't want to.
Yeah. So, but anyways, you have to beat the Lakers 4 games in a row. That means you have to beat LeBron and Luka. Slow the game down tremendously in crunch time, and then I just think when it comes playoff time, they're gonna have 2 of the best 3 players on the court at all times, like give or take. You can say Shea made 1 if they play OKC in the finals. If they can hang on to the 3 seed, that's the way that they'll be seeded. They would only have to see them in the Western Conference Finals. I think that they will. Yeah, I just think it's just tough to beat them. To 4 games, it's tough. And same with OKC though, but I just think OKC kind of showed a little bit of weaknesses. I think they are super young. They rely a lot on like I hate to say it, but like swag. They just kind of play with just that young swag. Super fast pace. You score, but they're already at half court by the time you turn around. Like they were super fast from what I was watching today, and just what I've watched of them all season. Just a couple of games, I'll tune in every now and then. The biggest disappointment I think will be the Rockets. I don't think they get past the. Let me see how this is gonna work. 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 3, 6. That's not good. I don't want to play the Warriors. That's terrible. Fuck that noise. 4, 5. I hope the Warriors move up by the end of this. But yeah, I think, and I don't want to play the Clippers in the first round. God damn, dude. I really hope Denver slips. I want to see the Clippers play Houston in the first round. Damn, this is not good. Now that I look at this,
Hear me out.
yeah, I'm done talking. I gotta do some thinking.
You can't speak like that when you're speaking on them making it all the way and nobody being able to beat them in a 4-game series.
He said, "Pop your chest out."
No. Not in a rude way, but in the way of like if you can talk about them like this. Who cares if they play the Clippers in the first round?
You said pop your chest out.
Who cares if they play the Warriors in the first round? No, I'm just kidding.
No, okay, right. Okay, Dre. And there's 2 types of people. There's stinkers like you where, oh yeah, you want to be an NBA champion, you gotta go out there and earn it every night. And there's people like me, like let's get to the fucking finals as healthy as possible, bro. Look what happened last year with Dallas. They had to go through game 7 after game 7. Luka showed up with fucking half a calf and they end up losing, Let's get there healthy. Possible. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck we doing? I'm sorry. I want to see LeBron get 5, motherfucker. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, no, I get you, Dre. Like, but that's just me, because like I'm not gonna lie, when Kawhi plays, the Clippers are really good, bro. Like, that's just how close it goes back. Huh? My bad.
Who's that? Where is he at?
No, wait.
Kawhi.
How many minutes?
Yeah, he's playing like 15. Nah, bro, I'm telling you, you just tune in.
I just had to say
tune
that.
in. You'll
I'm
see.
I'm glad the Lakers are winning and not like giving up games so that they can fall to 4th or 5th so that they get a particular matchup. Like that's all. Like I actually like just keep winning, solidify that 3rd seed.
And like I think we got a great if the play-in, because I don't think the Kings or the I think this is gonna stay the same. I think it's just gonna be the Timberwolves and Grizzlies make it in the play-in no matter what. So I think we got our great NBA TV series between Thunder and Grizzlies that no one's gonna fucking watch in the first round. That's gonna be great. And then I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting. I think the biggest disappointment though is this 11th seed right here, Phoenix. They just suck,
I only want to speak upon it.
Like, what do you guys do if you're KD?
He's got to
like,
get out
He's
of there,
gone.
man.
He's gone.
He's got to go. He's got to go.
where do you guys have him real quick? Because I know you got to get out of here. Tay, where do you guys have KD ranked in your guys' like generation, like, or just in
Generation?
general, like overall, like he
all
hasn't won a
greats?
championship since Golden State, you know. And you guys know the track record ever since he's left Golden State. Like, hasn't been pretty. Granted, there's been some injuries in there. But I'm not gonna lie, this isn't coming from a hateful place. I've actually grown to like KD. I'm just kind of curious as where do you guys have him ranked as far as like all time, I guess, because his career, I could say it's kind of coming to an end. You know,
Like
He'll
1 to
still be around.
5. 1 to 5, or and like modern players, or like just like legends.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're
Okay.
in your personal like. Is he in your top 10 personally? Like, where do you have him ranked? Do you have him ranked ahead
Below
of
top
Kobe?
10.
Like, do you have
Below
Steph
top
over
10.
him? You know, like
Yes.
what? Yeah, okay. That's gonna be really good for the
Okay.
dog days when we got nothing to talk about. We're gonna have to come up with some games
KD's
like this.
like KD's like an 8 or 9. Like he's down there in my top 10.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is it
Yeah.
because
No
he's only
disrespect.
gotten two championships?
Let me give you a
It's
hot
few
take.
things. It's. Oh, you want to go ahead, jump in? Sorry.
No. I'm
Uh-oh.
ready though.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
yes.
You want to
yes. It'll
ISO?
be
You want to
fast.
ISO?
No,
Sure.
it'll be quick. It'll be quick. Mine will be quick. There's a few things with me. One is, I just don't respect it. You had to go team up to get your championship. Like that, you got to get a ding with that. That's one. Two is to be a legend in my eyes. You have to be a full package. You have to be a great player. KD checks that. You have to have that dog in you, that hunger, that Mamba mentality, I would say. KD don't got that. He don't check that box. The third two is to be a great player in the locker room, you have to be a great leader. KD don't go check that box. So he's missing a lot of checks on my end. And yeah, I put him 8 or 9. Go ahead, Dre.
Why didn't you call the ISO? That was flames. That was flames. All right, ISO, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Kevin Durant has slowly turned himself in. Both of them turned himself into what could have been absolute Hall of Famers in their respective sports to almost bums, in my opinion. Okay. Kevin Durant has turned himself into the Russell Wilson of the NBA. Am I wrong? The man's on his 4th or 5th team, about to go to another one. Okay. Rode the coattails of someone else for his championship.
That's right.
I mean, Russell's nice. Don't get me wrong. I loved him when he's in Seattle. But what you're doing to your career and to yourself right now, Denver. Wait, where did he go then? Oh gosh, Pittsburgh. Oh, now where are you at? You're at New York, and you know that's a one-stop shop, especially if they grab Shedeur at 3. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Are you kidding me right now? And then
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey,
He's turned himself into. You think so?
I agree.
Dude.
I agree.
So people loved Russell in the first few years of his.
Aaron Rodgers in there as well, huh? Just why not?
He might be. Yeah, he might be the Aaron Rodgers
because he's even a diva with all the Twitter shit. At least Russ is a faithful man and has a family.
No, he might be Aaron Rodgers, but I was just saying, like, I was kind of like, piggybacking off the riding the coattails.
KD is the Russ Wilson of the NBA. Dre says he's a bum.
Not a bum. I mean, listen,
you said it.
I actually hate what he's became. That's the God honest truth. He was one of my absolute favorite players growing up. I loved him coming out of Texas. I love that he freaking came here. I hate that we lost our team, obviously, but no, I loved his game. Loved what he did on the court. Loved his first 5-6 years on OKC. Ever since he left, the man changed. He's consistently hurt. He's went to 4 or 5 teams now. Like, it's just ugly. It's ugly. You got to stay with 1, maybe 2 teams tops. Like Tay said, be a great leader. Do all of those things, and you'll get the respect. You'll get the stats. You'll get the championships. He didn't do it right. Russ isn't doing it right. That's where I was at.
I like that.
That's
I like
amazing,
that.
man.
Yeah. I want to point something you said out too, Dre, was like, like one of the big things there is like Katie's upside, bro. Like when you look at Katie, you want to look at him like a LeBron. You want to look at him, but like he just does this end of end of his career and even through his career where it's just like, bro, like you're not him. You know what I mean? Countless times. So I liked how you point that out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it pisses me off. It does. Like I said, I'm not capping here. He was my favorite player. So what he's turned himself into, both on the Twitter, the play, the injuries, the different teams, it's ugly, brother. It's ugly. Same with Russ. Loved him while he was here. The play, the injuries, the teams. He was never injured here. He's been injured the last like 4 years, at least a couple games every year. It's the same shit. Same exact parallel, in my opinion. Yeah.
I don't know. Like the issue that I have with that though is that the Russ one, like at least give him like Aaron Rodgers, because he's still averaging 26 points a game. Like,
dude, he could get it his way. He could get a Happy Meal any night.
Right, exactly.
Listen,
motherfucker get open in a phone booth. You know what I mean?
Russell just threw for 26 touchdowns and like 6 interceptions. Pittsburgh didn't win shit. They didn't do nothing.
And I think KD still has the sway in the pull of, hey, I can go wherever I want. Like Russ doesn't have that luxury. Russ got traded to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Or they released him or some shit. And then it's not like he's going to like a team. No one's out there wanting Russ. Otherwise he would have signed day one. Like if they somehow just release him or whatever, KD the same day was going to go like wherever he wants, pick of the litter type shit.
So where would you guys put KD now?
Where would I put him?
Okay. He's the opposite Jimmy Butler, though, in my opinion. Look at what the Warriors are doing with Jimmy.
But yeah,
look at what the Heat did for a year or two with Jimmy.
Listen, and this is also what pisses me off about this whole Jimmy Butler like shit. Like they're playing great. Like they're playing great. He's all right. 40% of his points are coming from the fucking free throw line. Like it's not like okay, I get what you're saying. Like yeah, it's better than having Klay Thompson last year. Like that's why I'm a little bit worried about the Warriors, is because like the Lakers are small, but the Warriors can go smaller. Pause. Like I get what you're saying. But I don't know, man. KD, maybe he goes to Dallas, teams up with Kyrie and AD. That's probably all, because they got picks. They can go ahead and trade one of these 18,000 bigs that they have. Send Derek Lively's ass over there. Keep Gafford, like let Booker build around him and let Bradley Beal just unfortunately ride off into the sunset, because I don't see that dude doing shit for the rest of his career. My bad.
I like that.
I'm gonna tell you.
I seen. Oh, go ahead, Dre. Sorry.
No, tell you. I spoke last before Joe, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I seen like, you guys ever see those fake like trade packages come up and stuff, and you're like, oh no! I clicked on it. It was like KD for like Rui and Austin Reeves, and I was like,
no.
please don't do that,
dude. Yeah, there's no way. Like it's disgusting, but I wouldn't trade Austin Reeves for anybody right now, if I'm being honest.
I'm gonna tell you what you do.
Wait, is it gonna? What are you gonna? What do you?
No, it won't be long-winded. It won't be long-winded.
I'm scared about this.
If I'm Kevin Durant, you could right a lot of your wrongs. You know how you do that? You know who you go team up instead of these older guys. You're stop going and teaming up with your buds. It hasn't worked, right? Go team up with the alien. Go team up with Victor over in San Antonio with Mr. Pop as your coach. If they have to trade, Stephon Castle, bye-bye.
No,
Pop and KD would be crazy.
Dude, if I'm San Antonio, I'm staying the fuck away with them. I'm just gonna be content with getting Ace Bailey in the draft.
Ace or Cooper, but then that's
not
just
Cooper. I don't think they're gonna get Cooper.
But they weren't that bad. Now that I'm thinking, Joe, you're right. He is the Aaron Rodgers, because he's one of those
he's a diva. Bro.
If a team takes him, you're gonna get that diva, yeah, just like you're saying.
But he's a hooper. Like I'm not I'm not throwing dirt on Katie. Like the motherfucker can still hoop. Like that's why I felt like it was disrespectful for you to say he was fucking Russell Wilson. Like bro, give him some fucking credit. You know what I mean? He's averaging 26, 6, and 4 on 52% shooting. And granted, I get what you're saying. Well, how many games has he played? I get you. You got me on there, brother. Like he hasn't played the most games, been hurt, but and they're not winning when he's shooting like that. So like what? It's pretty much just like empty stats you get. I get what you're saying, but that's the Suns.
Both of them, it makes sense, honestly.
Get this. The Suns are more of a reflection of what the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement is with the tier 1 aprons, the tier 2 aprons and shit like that, or the first apron, the second apron. Like they don't want you to build the 3-star model anymore. Like the best way to do it is the 2-star model and build like around players and stuff like that. You don't really see too many big threes like you do now with the Lakers and OKC, teams like that, like Mitchell or Cleveland. Boston's even hurting too. Like low key, I think it's a conspiracy theory, but they paid everybody and then they sold their team, so they're gonna have to trade people. That's just the reality of the NBA. And when you have a team like the Suns where you do it the 3-star model, but with a dude that has a no trade clause in his contract and wasn't really producing before you traded for him and was already injured most of the time, and then you get KD, like think about it, bro. You were in the finals not but 4 years ago, 4 to 5 years ago. Might have been COVID year,
Yeah.
If you're Phoenix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we be clear, when they started their model, it wasn't even a 3-star model. I think they had Chris Paul, they had Booker, they had KD, and they had Ayton, and then they still wanted to go out and get more. But then Paul just was like, he's old. Okay, ship him off. And then they went out and got more. And Bradley Beal.
No, what happened was they had
and Ayton, bye.
They had Ayton left, but it's because of the new CBA too, though. Like what happens is you get put in the second tier apron and then you lose draft picks. Like if you're over the second apron tax bracket or whatever it is, like they don't want you to have 3 stars and then still be able to get your mid-level exception off and go get like a Ray Allen back in the day, how like the Heat did, you know what I mean? Like they want it to be more balanced, and that's why like teams like Boston kind of piss me off. But that's, I don't know, it's just, it kind of sucks if you're Phoenix, because you were in the finals not but 4 or 5 years ago, and then you go out and you trade your Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnsons to Brooklyn for KD, and I'm pretty sure KD might have been, he's just always hurt too. Like, I don't know, but he's a hooper, bro. Like, I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. What do you guys think? 3 to 4 years
for KD? Yeah, probably.
You think LeBron beats him?
No injuries, 3 to 4 more years.
Oh yeah, LeBron is just, I mean, like LeBron playing longer than KD?
Yeah.
Or just in total career?
Playing longer. You think LeBron plays longer than KD?
I don't think
so. Well, he will. Obviously, he will. But I think, like, I don't know.
I think Bron will be an older age for sure than KD when he retires. But I think LeBron will go first before KD.
Depends on how long it takes Bryce to get there.
True. All right, fellas.
All right. What else we got, Dre? You got anything?
No, let's wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow, y'all.
Hey.
Yep. Sounds good. And then what do we got? Are we still doing our draft spectacular, fellas?
Draft spectacular.
If this is draft night, if everything aligns, if everybody can make it home in time for our day jobs, like, comment, and subscribe so we can eventually not have to go to those day jobs. We appreciate the love and support. But yeah, we're still planning that out, and we would love to go live and watch the draft with you guys, do our first live show. So looking forward to stuff coming in the future, boys. And keep on rocking in the free world.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Be back tomorrow, fellas.
Thank you.
Peace.